It is the following morning. I have the propane heater on to kind of warm up this body panel. I'm going to go ahead and weld that patch panel in, get it done and dealt with. We can move on from here. It has the weld through primer on it already. I already formed it, cut it, ground it, made sure it's going to fit. And then I will probably take some lacquer thinner or acetone, clean off the body one more time, and then paint this entire side with that red oxide primer. I used the wire brush to remove all the Bondo. I also took the DA sander with 220 grit to it, make sure it gets good adhesion property. And I took the Scotch-Brite and just to make sure I got in between as many nooks and crannies I could. Here was a little bit hard. Under that side was a little bit hard. While I was taking a look at this yesterday, I noticed that most of it's uniform, right? I have it here, but then this is up here, and that one is below the body line. I thought that was weird. I don't know if that's where it's supposed to be. They don't look like they've been altered. Just weird. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and start welding. Anybody familiar with welding will know welding with .023 wire is finicky. I really wish I had a shorter torch width. I think this is probably easy 12, 15 feet long. I usually do a little bit heavier stuff. I'm using 035 wire. Doesn't get down that bird nest near the road of the VG. I also have knurled wheels on that, so it grabs it and pushes the turn on. I did buy new wheels, new tips, new liner, trying to make it as easy as possible. It still has not been the easiest thing in the world, but it is coming through. Apparently I didn't clean that out as well as I thought I did. Because there's definitely a bundle or something burning on the other side of that. I'm not worried about any of this wiring. it is completely just messed up. Now I'm noticing, this is obviously not the military slicker. This is probably on the CJ2A or M3080. No, not M3081. CJ2A, CJ5, I don't think this is that CJ7, but something along those lines, civilian model basically. Looks like it comes down here on its own wiring loom from the horn. There's a 12-volt flasher in here. All these wires that, I don't know, like I said, I bought a new wiring harness. This whole thing is getting gutted and redone because I don't even know what to make of this anymore. So it's all the slices. I know at one point he was running two different, he ran two 12-volt batteries like you have to, but he was using half of the bank, which would be 12 volts, to power some of it, even a fuel pump that was on here. It had a 12-volt fuel pump and then a manual fuel pump on the block, which should be out of an 82, because the pump inside wasn't working. I did have the electric pump rebuilt, so I'm putting that back in with the tank. Alright, it's just been weird. That's where we're at. Got it? No grinder. I wouldn't want to put that on there, especially on these corners. You can take away too much too quickly. I'm going to turn on the air compressor in a second, and drain those smooth. And you see two pinholes here and here. And we built a lot of this. Now while I have the welder running, I'm just going to go ahead and reverse. pressure. I'll be right back. Alright, pressure's on. I'm going to knock the high spots off with this. Yeah, that's so hot. Yeah, that's hot. So that was 60 on this big grinder. This is 80 grit here. I bought these roll locks. You know, I think that's a trade name for 3M. I bought them off of eBay. They wear out extremely quick. I will plan on ordering actual 3M next time because they seem to last a lot better.
never going to be perfect, but I'll be okay with that. Still not sure what I want to do here. Probably going to ignore that for now. I think before I actually put primer on this section, I'm going to go ahead and put some body filler down. I'm not putting any more body filler on that section at all because I'm really happy with it. But obviously this took a bit more welding. You got the plug welds to deal with. It's not bad. I'm not going to deal with the slight imperfections on this rail. I'm going to smooth here, smooth here. Actually, I got to weld right here first. Let me move stuff out the way and get to working on that. Well, I'm going to sweep up here, I'm going to lay on the ground to weld the bottom. So you don't want to see me sweeping. Alright, let's weld the bottom of this thing now. Obviously I'm going to need the welding torch. I need pliers. I need the hammer. I need a welding helmet. There, no? I don't know if any of you have noticed, welding helmet I use has a hard hat. After welding for years and years and years, you're getting burn slag in your head. You used to use a bandana, or the little weld hats, or cloth weld hats they have. They work okay, but nothing burns through this. And if it did, I don't know. Bit of a gap here, I didn't notice before. And now with a little bit of cleaning. Wire, pretty much a necessity to have the torch straight. Otherwise it just wants the bird next by the speed rolls. piece, make a little factor gap. So my little work table here was bought at Government Planet auction site. I bought it because there was a Lincoln welder, and I'll show you that later, that I wanted. And I don't know why, other than this was really rusty and brown, I thought this was a wood table. So when he came out and brought me the Lincoln, I think it's a 250 GTX or GXT or something along those lines, he said, where do you want it? I said, put it in the center, keep the weight in the center of the trailer. He said, well, it only weighs like 400 or 500 pounds. The table weighs close to 12. The table is 1,200 pounds. And this was before I put the vise on it. But it had all bunch of fixtures. I don't know what it was used for, but it had a lot of 1-inch thick stuff bolted here. I took all these holes, threaded them all the way through, so I can clamp whatever I want on this table, and it didn't go nowhere. It's 1 inch or 7/8. Just shy, I think it's 7/8. Yeah, it's 7/8 thick. It's heavy. It's box tubing, or box, what do you call it? Square tubing construction. I keep some tools here. I also keep my fixtures. Same stuff I use from a Bridgeport mill. I use it here. That way I can always tie stuff down. But anyways, let's get back to making a 90 out of this to fill that gap. I'll be right back. So the SD card got full on the other one. You got a spy. Hello, Cash. He's a good boy. So I'm not sure where it stopped, but I got this primered, first coat, and I got Bondoed body filler, first coat. I'm not at all making this a perfect Jeep. I'm making it my Jeep. I will do a little bit more work on that crease, but I'm gonna put another layer of red oxide primer on this. Actually, I should turn this welder off since I'm done with that for now. And the gas, I turned the gas off, it just didn't turn off the motor. So, I'm gonna put another coat. Cash, how you doing, buddy? That fell. I think next weekend I'm going to pull the M151A1 out, park it back under the carport up front, so I can move this to the car lift and finish welding underneath. It probably doesn't need it, probably overkill, but I'm going to do it anyway because that's who I am. Somebody's going to be making fun of it. Overkill on the welding. You're using rattle can primer. Yeah. But I'm actually pretty happy with this primer. It dries really well. It's not a high fill primer, but it's good self-etching primer. So it sticks to bare metal really nice. I was going to use that zinc chromate stuff. Just haven't bought it yet. And honestly, because I still plan on welding, I still got welding things to do on this. Everything I read says, don't weld over it, it'll kill ya. So, probably not a bad idea not to do it. Even though I'm pretty sure, yeah, this says it's 86% zinc. But if I remember everything else I bought, hexovanium, I don't know, hexo something chrome is what causes the lung cancer. So it's probably the zinc chromate start that tries to kill you when you weld. That's why when you're welding stainless steel, you should have a respirator designed to capture that. I always have. And probably should do what using a respirator on other welding processes I do as well. But I don't. I'm not going to worry about getting that too much because this will beat that a little bit. But I'm going to do right here. Yeah, here. I always turn the can upside down and spray a little bit just to kind of clear out the nozzle. I haven't had as many issues with tips after I started doing that. So. We can kind of see the body's got some waves in it. I'm okay with all of them, honestly. I think I will. Still got to figure out what these are for and those are for. Once this dries, for a couple hours, I'll hit it with a, I don't know, 80 grit, and then block it out a little bit, and maybe add another layer. I still got to figure out how I want to fix all this and make it look nice. That's gonna be an issue. And also, it's one of those catch-22s. I can make it look perfect, right? And then I'm gonna nail it with a rock right after I get it nice. So how far do you go, you know? I kind of want to do. I put aluminum L channel for my rocker guards on the M151A1. It holds up really well and protects the body. I'm thinking I'm going to do the same thing on this, just to give it that extra strength. I think it'll be good. I just got to find probably like a 2" by 2", and then mount it real nice. Countersink the bolts like I did here, so you don't scratch up against it. I did the same thing on the driver's side. The biggest difference was I have a fuel cell. So if you look down here, you can see it cuts in and around the fuel cell. It still protected the body fairly decently when I squished it bad, but as you can see, I didn't really fix this one all the way either. I sanded it down and put a little layer of Bondo on it, or body filler, and then I raptor lined it again. Keeps the rust from forming, and it looks decent. But I actually use my Jeeps as Jeeps, so there's no real reason to 100% fix them, because they are going to see a rock again. So that's where we're at the moment. I'm going to let this stuff dry for a couple hours.
Alright, I have mostly finished this side. All the welding is done. Most of the body work, except for this little corner, is done. I'm very happy with it. I still want to figure out what those are for, that's for, and these 5 back here. But I'm very happy with the rust that was here, and was here. That's all gone. Love it. This is all bare metal except for minimal body filler here, because I actually like the look of the old spot welds, because that's how it was in the military when they came off the floor. They didn't body filler. These were utilitarian. They weren't showpieces. So even though it's a lot more work, I'm finding very little damage was on this vehicle. They just put a bunch of Bondo on for some reason. I'm not totally sure why. I still have a lot of work ahead of me, obviously. So, where I'm leaving it on this Sunday is that's done. It's obviously not green yet, but it's done. It's not going to rust anymore. I still got some more work to do in that corner. I can put the tank in. I just got to finish that there. The tank is actually in decent shape. It holds gas. It's sitting over here somewhere, right there. So I'm going to clean it up a little bit. Also got a fresh coat of paint on it. Put it back in there. And then I will start doing more body work. But I honestly want to drive the damn thing. So once I get this side situated, fuel tank in, floor good, because my feet were going to go through that floor. There is no doubt about that. I'll put the tube on, put my seat, which, yeah, anyways. You guys get the point. Really appreciate all you guys' support. Any suggestions you may have. If anybody knows what those indentions were for, I kind of think that was that tie down. Let me know. Kind of neat that they're almost all the way through, but they're not. I don't know if that's normal or not. I still got some body work. I mean, there's a ton of body work. There's a ton of work left. But I'm happy with where it's sitting at the moment. If anybody wants one of these stock rollover protection systems, I came on the A2 and was in this A1, hit me up. I might be giving that away if somebody has any spare parts I might want. I just don't think I like the way it looked. And I like kind of building my own cage. I'll show you a picture of my M151A1 cage. Just because it looks cooler. It's a little smaller diameter too. It's 0.18 wall, 1 1/2 or 1 3/4. I think I use 1.5 inch tubing. Might be 1 3/4. I don't know. It's a little smaller. It looks kind of cleaner. It still fits the soft top, which you can't see. So I think that's the route I'm going to go. All right, later. Have a good one. Have fun with your toys.